Let's get the people what they want. The Wade-O Radio Show.
Of course, it is DJ Wade-O, the Wade-O Radio Show. It's more than music, it's ministry. Listen, man. Listen. Every time I sit down with this dude, I get excited for a variety of reasons. One, he's someone I look up to. But two, he always has a wealth of knowledge, man. He's Grammy nominated, Stellar nominated. He won some Stellars, though.
Yeah.
Dove nominated, multiple Kingdom Choice Award winner. He is in the inaugural Gospel Hip Hop, Christian Hip Hop Hall of Fame. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is probably the thing I think he's probably the most proud of. And I'll let him, he may be prouder of something else. But he's also the founder of the Free Life Movement. Got none other than Canton Jones.
Yes,
K.
sir.
Joe.
Wade-O. What's up, man?
K. Joe is in the building.
Hey.
I can't sing it like him,
Hey.
but you know what I mean? But he's here though, man. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. How you?
Man, I'm great. Good. It was good hanging with you this whole weekend, man.
Yeah.
Seeing you
Amazing
in different
weekend.
elements, man. Free life, man. And we're gonna talk about all of that stuff. But I want to start with this. You are synonymous with the Atlanta Christian hip hop gospel scene. You can't think about this city without thinking about you. But what do you consider yourself more, Christian hip hop or gospel? If you had to choose one, you got to choose one.
Well, I mean, I'm a derivative of gospel. Most of the times, when you talk about Christian, it's a derivative of Christian music.
Yeah, that's fair.
When you
that's
talk
fair.
about gospel, it's a derivative of gospel
That's fair.
music. And, you know, people don't like they avoid what that is, but that's pretty much black and white.
Black and white.
You know
It's
what I'm
black
saying?
and white.
So you know, my roots are in gospel. I love, you know, much respect to Christian too. I love Christian music, but my roots are in gospel. So my music kind of sounds, it leans towards that a little bit more. And so, you know, and plus besides just hip hop, I grew up quartet.
You did.
And I sang in the Morehouse College Glee Club.
You
so
did.
I kind of, I'm a musical mutt. I'm like everywhere when it comes to music. So the hip hop community, to me, embraced me, but gospel did too.
Yeah.
You know, gospel embraced me too. So I'm blessed in that.
You were a pioneer in that. You were probably one of the first to be embraced equally in both communities. Like, I think the truth started getting love around the same time you did in some different circles.
Right.
But I mean, you were singing.
Right.
You know what I mean? You were singing, and so I think that has opened so. I mean, come on, man. Like, I think about your Stellar Award performances.
Yeah.
I think about some of the tours. I think about even some of the churches that you were performing at, that then other people were able to also be on those platforms and stages, man. So I say this, man, and I mean, I want to say this publicly. I just don't think you get the credit that you deserve for a lot of this stuff that you spearheaded in the space.
I think this is still another beginning has started.
Yeah.
For me. So, you know, there's a lot that has been accomplished, and I'm always movement minded.
Sure.
Which sometimes I have put myself on the back burner thinking about the movement more so. But I feel like God will repay. And so when you're movement minded, you're making moves for a large group of people than just yourself. Because if I was moving for KJO, I would move a lot different.
Man, we wouldn't have had all the other Kingdom businesses after Kingdom Business One.
Right. Because the revelation of the Kingdom business is you have to start giving opportunities for other people in the kingdom. And I was like, oh, okay, I get it. So Kingdom business is not just about Canton Jones. And that's why we started the compilation to help other people in the kingdom, you know, and so to give exposure. Because I was like, man, y'all don't know this guy? You don't know this guy? And that was like one of my things that I really love. Like, man, I know y'all on me, but y'all need to listen to this guy or listen to that guy, you know, and you know, and kind of a connector, you know. And when I could have taken some of those opportunities, you know, but I felt like, you know, like we said, I can't do everything, so got to spread the wealth. Yeah, it's been good.
Your journey didn't start in Atlanta.
Right.
Started in Florida.
I am a Floridian. Buddy.
You are, man.
Yeah.
What was childhood Canton Jones like, man?
Oh man, I had both my parents in the home,
Yep.
which was amazing. My
Yep.
dad was a quartet singer, but he also did pools.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has a pool in Florida. My mom was first a fashion person. My mom made clothes. And
That
stuff.
makes
And
that. I mean,
Well,
you've always had the fits, bro.
But my sister and my daughter, they got it. Like my daughter's
Okay.
at SCAD, Savannah College of Art and Design, and so she got the major swag. But but our house, we went to church every Sunday. I grew up Pentecostal, Church of God in Christ. Grew up singing in the choir.
I don't think I knew you was Kojic, bro.
Yo, Kojic, bro.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, hand clapping, foot stomping, tongue
okay.
talking. Pentecostal Church of God in Christ.
know that.
You can't be. You can't join in. You gotta be born in. Yeah. So Kojic to the bone, bro. Like to the bone, and we played drums every Sunday, and that was so that was our thing. And my mom started teaching.
Yeah.
She went into education. She was my teacher at one time. That's
Wow.
how I had all the hall passes.
Wow.
My mom.
You was thieving them hall passes, bro.
No, she gave them to me.
She gave them to you like that.
And so she wasn't tripping on. But I had a great childhood. Older brother, 3 younger sisters, and we were close knit. We're still close. And so God is, my childhood was awesome. My dad bought me a piece of equipment. Well, everybody wanted to play football and basketball growing up. My dad bought me a piece of equipment at 15, and I knew what I wanted to do from that point.
What made you want to do that though? Because Florida football, everybody know what it is with the Florida football. Like what made you say, I even want to attempt this?
I think watching my dad sing coming up. He write songs. He played bass, and
you had him on a record before.
Yep. And I write in code, so a lot of my songs have double, sometimes triple meanings. And I'm a bass line guy. I do that to honor Pop on certain songs. And so he was really big songwriter. The single that was chosen for the Flat Out Hit of the Week is a song called Worthy. That's my dad's song. He wrote that song. Wow. And they didn't even know when they picked it. It was like, my pop wrote that song, and I redid it to honor him. Wow. And so that was like really good. So growing up, I traveled with him. I sang with him, and we had the shiny suits, bro, and so playing a football game, he'll show up. We got a little wet rag in a Ziploc bag with some soap, and you got to wash up and put your suit on and go sing.
Bro, I just remembered this.
Yeah.
I did an interview with you and your pops, bro.
You did? When?
I'm trying to remember what project it was, bro.
You got him?
It wasn't on video. It was an audio interview.
Really?
Yeah. I'm gonna go look through my
stuff. Yeah, you got to
bro.
get me that, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna go look through my stuff, bro.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Really?
Yeah. Yeah. That just came to mind, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to get me that.
Yeah.
You got to get me that.
Man, we having a moment right here,
Yeah,
bro.
that's good, man, because you talk about he's been in heaven since 2010.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
That was and I got a voicemail that I kept to hear his voice, and I got some videos and stuff. But I would love to hear that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go look through my stuff. I'm almost positive, bro.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm just imagining that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Morehouse brought you to Atlanta.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you apply to other colleges?
I did. I applied to Georgia Tech. I was trying to get.
So you was trying to get to Atlanta.
That's it.
So that was
but the choices were New York, because it was about music for me.
Yeah, yeah.
So it wasn't really about school. It was trying to get on the scene, and I used college to get on that scene. So I was going to pick a school in New York, L.A., or Atlanta. New York, too cold.
Yeah.
And too many earthquakes. I mean, it wasn't happening that often, but I was like, and then I wanted to be able to get home. It's like 9-hour drive, 1 hour flight.
Yeah.
And I wanted some family. So I had two aunts in Atlanta, and my uncle Al, and I picked Atlanta, and I applied to go to Georgia Tech. I had the grades. I slipped up on the SAT, and I took the SAT over, and they accepted me, but I got in pride.
Here's why
I didn't want to come.
Here's why I ask you that, bro. There's so much stuff that would be different if you never came to Atlanta, bro. Seriously. Like, if you would have went to New York, your life would be different, but also this CHH, gospel rap, gospel community will be different if you never came to Atlanta.
That's something to consider. Yeah. I've never thought about that.
Yeah, it'll be different, bro.
Wow.
Why Morehouse? Because you don't seem like I'm a Howard alum.
Right. Okay.
So I'm HBCU all day.
All day.
You're not the typical Morehouse guy.
At all.
Right.
But I am. Those are my brothers. But I'm just.
I almost went to Morehouse too, by the way.
Did you?
I did almost.
You would have loved it, bro.
We'd have been there together.
Yeah, and we battled. Howard and Morehouse. We battled over there. Y'all put that thing on us.
We always do. I wasn't going to go there. I was going to let you lie. But
I'm not even gonna lie, man. And I hate to lose, bro. So, but I was so I just got my letter from Georgia Tech saying that I wasn't gonna get in.
Wow.
They was telling me to retake the SAT.
Yeah.
And while I was getting ready to do that, a friend of mine, his name is Bruce Randall.
Yeah.
We played Little League together. We played basketball together all throughout just our childhood and high school. He was in the hallway at that time. I said, bro, where you going to school? He said, man, I got accepted at Morehouse. I'm like, Morehouse, what's that? He said, it's an all-male college in Atlanta. I was like, you playing football? He's like, yeah. I was like, I don't know about the all male thing. Right. Like I wasn't connecting different world Martin Luther King. I didn't connect any of that.
You ain't know about Spelman either.
No, I didn't know.
You ain't know about Spelman and Clark. You ain't know.
And he said, I think it's a girl college close, but I'm not sure. He said that. Yeah. And I was like, well, I can stay focused in class. It's cool.
Yeah.
All right. And he had an application in his book bag.
Come on, man.
I was in the orchestra too.
Yeah.
So I played bass viol.
Yeah.
I was in the chorus and the orchestra, so I played bass. I knew how to play, bass viol. And we had a competition in Atlanta that year at the Peachtree. It was called the Peachtree Classic.
Yeah.
So with that, big shout out to Miss McCrae. She's in heaven now. She brought us to Atlanta. And then I had an audition at Morehouse. Wow. And they accepted me and gave me a grant to come. And when they gave me money, I was like, oh, I'll be there.
So talk about that Glee Club, man, because that Glee Club world famous.
Morehouse College Glee Club, bro. Dr. David Morrow.
Yeah.
Such rich history, over 100 years of rich history. Only 3 to 4 directors. And they'll get on me about the history. But one thing I was able to do, I was at the opening and closing of the Olympics. I was able to sing with Stevie Wonder. Went to
so that was like when you first got
Russia.
here too.
Yeah. Man, I got here in '96.
That's what I'm saying.
95 to '96, my freshman year.
Yeah.
I traveled all year. All year I was gone. We did the opening and closing of the Olympics. I went to Russia. I went to we traveled the West Coast. We did a West Coast tour. We did an East Coast tour for 2 weeks during spring break, and then we sang everywhere, bro. And so I was able to do so many things from the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra to doing, and I learned so many types of music from the Negro spirituals to classical music, singing Italian music, French music. So I'm not just a rapper.
Right.
I
Right.
know music, like it's really a part of me, and I've studied all types of genres of music and understand movements of music. But the best musician in our house is my wife. She knows how to play piano, read music, and she's a jazz vocal performance major. I was a business major, you know. But
so she was at Spelman?
She was at Spelman.
She was at Spelman, okay.
So that's how
y'all
we met.
Like y'all the Morehouse Spelman, like
yeah, all day.
Wow.
All day, bro.
Wow.
All day. But and you say that I'm not the, you know, because I'm still hip hop. I'm still
absolutely
rough around the edges.
Yeah.
I never, and I tried to lose that edge. It just wouldn't go away.
That's what it was.
And so I'm not the typical, you know, guy like that. But I really excelled. I graduated.
Yeah.
I did well. You know, and my wife was excellent in school. And so, but she's not the typical Spelmanite. And so, but we were brought together, and I love my years at Morehouse, man. Singing in talent shows, winning talent shows, and I was like really leaning towards the R&B side more so.
I can see that.
When I was in school, because I love harmonies and singing with the brothers. I came up and singing in groups. I really didn't want to do solo music. I was trying to find brothers to sing with me so we could doo-wop and sing together, you know, and harmonies and stuff like that. It wasn't until I graduated and went to and started producing in our studio. I had a studio too, to where I got acclimated really into the Atlanta sound.
Yeah.
In Decatur off Memorial Drive, right across the street from the jail, producing all the cats from Decatur and in College Park.
Yeah.
And so that's really how I got into the Atlanta sound during the college. That's really also how I got into the mud of things and understanding the real street life, because I was a church boy. So, you know, and so I learned a lot in that time until God kind of brought me out of that.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, man.
What started getting you into? Well, let me, before I go there, Ramona got you to World Changers. Right. Man, talk about your time there, bro, because I mean, you were doing stuff with the youth ministry, you were doing stuff with the praise team, worship team, choir, whatever we were calling this stuff back then. Like, you were all involved in that, but then you were also dropping music. Right. So just talk about that season of your life, bro.
So if you listen to my first project, it's more singy.
20 years.
20 years, 3 months. It's more. I talked to Ty Tribbett, and his is more singy before he took the worship hip hop swag, and it was just where we were at the time because I just didn't see the scene accepting more hip hop. Now, I had been producing hip hop and rapping, you know, but I was like, if I'm getting ready to go back to church, they not gonna be with this. And so I rededicated, got in the choir, got married, and started to straighten up my life. And I never forget, I was singing my first solo at the church. I am so nervous, you know, and I was more singy than hip hop, but still.
And you had traveled the world with the Glee club
Well, I
and everything.
Did that. It was right. So I'm done with that, but I'm at World Changers.
But I'm saying, you're nervous.
I'm nervous because I'm in this big, but you know, when World Changers, you know, church for us is 100, 150 people. You know, at Church of God in Christ, you know, the church is not that big until they come and have a big convention. So I'm singing my first solo. They had 2 services. That same day, they're introducing the youth pastor. The new youth pastor, his name was Lee Wilson.
Okay.
And so I saw them first service, introduced them, but I'm trying to remember my lyrics. I ain't paying attention.
Right.
I'm just like going over like, okay, you know, what's going on? And they're introducing him to the church. So he comes up to me. Now, Holy Hip Hop Awards is that same weekend.
Wow.
The first time I hit the Holy Hip Hop Awards stage was that Saturday.
That's crazy.
The day before.
That's crazy.
Right? Now,
that's crazy.
It's crazy how God set this up. So
that weekend changed your life, bro.
From that, and it wasn't the day that I was starting to lead worship, because I started leading worship for Holy Hip Hop, like the first set to start everything out. This is when I had like a song, and I was like number 37 on the list because it was 36 other guys, that type of thing. And he said to me, so they're introducing my sang the first service, and in between those two services, he comes up in between, and he says, "Hey man, I'm Lee Wilson. I saw you last night, and that's a pause minute for me. Like, you what? Like you stuck? Like, what do you mean you saw me last night?" He's like, "I was at the Holy Hip Hop Awards last night." I'm like, oh, you saw that? He's like, "Yeah, man." And I had a session afterwards because I was still making money. So after I sang, I left and I had a session. And they were looking for me, but they couldn't find me. I ain't have a table or nothing like that. I didn't even know nothing about that. I just left because I didn't know anybody like that. So when I left, they were looking for me.
How'd you get on that, though? How'd you get on the Holy Hip Hop?
Bruh. Danny Wilson.
Wow.
I met Danny Wilson through a group called Godsons.
Yeah.
Messenger, who does my podcast with me, was one of the Godsons.
Wow. I know you and Messenger went back that deep, bro.
Messenger was like the one that was always saved. When I was in college and we was producing these gangsters and all this stuff going on, they were the only saved group. Yeah. Like, and me and my boy Black, we was like, well, we're gonna this the church group. They come from Church of God in Christ up here, and let's produce them. So we was producing them, and Black was a monster. He's in heaven, monster producer.
Yeah.
So when they started dealing with Danny Wilson, they was telling me about the hip hop scene. First time I went to the Holy Hip Hop Awards, it was at Clark, Atlanta.
Wow.
And
so it's right in the AUC.
So we went, and I sat in the balcony. Me and Black sat in the balcony and watching them. They had this song called "No Weapons." They was doing this, "Get off me, get up." And so Kaiser is from Pompano Beach, Deerfield Beach, next to. So his dad and my dad grew up together. So I know the tradition and how we grew up. And I saw his daddy like getting, and I was like, "What? You can do that?"
Wow.
And that day changed my life.
Wow.
So I started hanging with them a little bit more. Met Danny Wilson, and Danny invited me to be on the Holy Hip Hop Awards. And so when Lee Wilson came, he said, "I saw you at the Holy Hip Hop Awards. I would like for you to come help us with the youth ministry." And this is what I say to him. I say, "What's the youth ministry?" I was like, "We had a youth day."
Right.
Right. Coach, we
one day the 150 people church.
Like we had a youth day where we dress up to get, and say some speeches.
Yeah.
Like, what's a youth ministry? You mean it's a youth church going on at the same time with a big church going on? I was like, "Oh, let's go. Let's do it." And that experience is how I started writing songs like Password. I wrote Password when Lil Jon and Usher did yeah, and the kids was we did singy songs, but they would go crazy over hip hop.
Right.
But I was like, man, if we're doing too much rap, none of the kids can catch on.
Sheesh.
So let's figure out how to do some chant music. And chant music in Atlanta was big. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, on the floor, on the floor, on the floor, on the floor, hit the door.
Right.
Like, and so I just converted it into something kingdom for chant music, which I probably need to do more of that because a lot of people can't catch lyrics when it comes to worship.
Right.
And so I was trying to figure out how to make hip hop a worship and praise type of thing where people can sing back. And so that's kind of how that happened. And that big shout out to Pastor Creflo, Pastor Taffy Dollar, and Lee Wilson for that platform, because that platform changed my life. That time with those kids, and it was really only like a year and a half before my music took off and I had to go traveling. Yeah. And so, but I was doing the conferences, and man, we were wild, bro. When I joined the youth ministry, I would say it was probably like 100 kids. We had got it up to like probably 800 kids.
Wow.
Bro, it was like a club. Now, One thing about the culture is the culture. So
Yeah.
you got people driving by the youth ministry and they boom cars.
Of course.
You know, kids hanging off. So we realized that, okay, with the music and with the culture, you got to police it kind of like you police normal hip hop.
Right.
Because you're pulling in those people. But it was so many kids getting saved, so many kids getting changed, so many people hooking up to the church. But I know a lot of times people are afraid to use hip hop because they can't control it.
Yeah.
Or you can't control it. You just got to have the people that can relate to those kids.
Yeah.
You know, so
that's crazy.
Yeah.
So, at what point in this did you sign with Arrow Records?
I signed with Arrow
Because you were with Holy Hip Hop initially, right?
I did. We dropped 20 Years, that first record, and then we did, and so I signed with hip hop.
But isn't there 2 versions of 20 Years though?
No, it's 2 versions of Password.
Okay.
It's 2 versions. It's 2 versions of Password. 20 Years came out and under Holy Hip Hop, and that was my only record with them. And then we were going to do something together, combined with Arrow and Holy Hip Hop. Because they had signed the EMI.
Gotcha.
But that kind of didn't work out.
Yeah.
And so I signed to them around 2003 to 2003, 2009. I was on their label and did about 4 or 5 records on there. And so that's where you get your Password, you get your Love Jones, you get your Kingdom Business. All of that stuff is on there, and then I did another record called CJ Talk, like a live record that's on there. And so, but I was able to also travel with Pastor and kind of see how they do things, man. The man of excellence, and kind of see how they move.
Because that's when he was doing those
conventions,
crusade. Like he show up, it's 5,000, 6,000.
Easy.
Yeah, bro, I remember that.
Easy, bro.
I remember that, bro.
Man, we went to. I never forget my first. I only had 20 years. I didn't even have Password yet, and we went to New York with him. Yeah. And I performed, and we didn't have a table. We didn't know. Yeah. Man, them people rushed the table, and they were literally throwing money at me because they could see that I was selling out. I had one box. No, I had 2 boxes of one CD.
You said no banner, nothing.
No
Just
banner, no shirt, no shirts, nothing. Because I didn't know. Me and my wife. It was me and my wife, and then somebody saw us. You ever see what's the Eddie Murphy movie when he was doing the stock market?
Trading places.
Trading places. And when they was like, sell. That's how it was.
Like that.
I was like, it was wild. And I learned that day. Oh, like, wait, bro, we got to be ready next time. And but sometimes you don't know you got something until stuff like that happens. Yeah. I'm like, man, it was really going crazy over that music like that. So we got to figure something out, And watching Pastor, I just learned excellence, man. Just learned excellence. Thank God.
So when you left World Changers, Arrow Records, what was that departure like, bro?
Because, man, it was difficult.
Because I asked that because I know how much I even hear it the way you're talking about him now. Yeah. But you've always over the years always honored him. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so, just having lived a little bit longer now and being in some different spaces, I kind of understand it, man. But what was that like, bro?
Oh, very difficult. When you come up in a place and you really consider it home, and then God is leading you to leave, not because, I thought in a lot of my departures from things, even free life.
Yeah. We're going to talk about that.
Yeah. That I did something wrong. Yeah. And it's not that I did something wrong. You're finished. You completed it.
Come on.
And God gave me this scenario. He says, imagine when you left Deerfield High. I big shout out to the Bucks, Deerfield High, right? Left Deerfield High, graduated, finished, right? And so if I go back to Deerfield High, they'll be like, oh, man, great to see you. What you doing now? Yeah, man, I'm in college right now. And all right, man, good to see you, man. And I'll go see my basketball coach, and I'll see some of my teachers. All right. And I'll come back again, and they'll say, okay, well, good to see you. I thought you were supposed to be at Morehouse, but it's good to see you. You're around. Okay. And then I come back again, and I just stay there, and they.
Like what you doing?
It'll become a time where they start to call security on me. And a place where I was welcomed, I'm not welcome anymore because I finished, not because I did something wrong.
Yeah.
And so when you finish, you gotta go. Mm-hmm. When you stay, you're in violation in a place where you used to be welcome. Mm-hmm. And it's not that I wasn't welcome in these places. I just didn't know that I finished. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. That when you finish this season and God has moved you to another season, so I love so hard that I had problems leaving to go to the next thing. So I leave walking backwards instead of walking forward. Mm-hmm. You know, so you're still moving forward, but you're still looking back.
You're still looking back. So you can't move as fast.
You can't move as fast.
You're
still moving, but you're not moving as fast as you can move. And I've learned in this recent situation that you just got to turn around and go. You know? And so but thank God for social media. I can still get pastor's messages. I can still get his mentorship through social media. I had to grow up in that area because I wanted to, talk to him personally. I wanted to get his and realize, man, the spirit of how he would talk to me. I got access to that, but I had to grow up in that area. Had to really grow. And here's why I had to grow up, because people want the same from me, and I can't give them that personal access to me.
That's good.
Because that belongs to my family.
Yep.
And so I had to give him the same grace that I was asking for. Like, man, I can't meet with y'all, bro. I can't go here. I can't do that like I used to because I got 4 kids, wife. I got so much to do. I can't give y'all that access. So, the maturity of where I'm entering into now is just to put more of my wisdom online to help more
good,
artists and ministers and stuff.
That's good.
Like that.
Yeah. That's some of these conversations that I've had recently with friends, with colleagues, with people in the industry, bro, I'm just going to tell you something right. There's so many people that can relate to that.
Wow.
Because transitions.
Yep.
Like, and we're in an era, like, man, take it. I mean, we do music for a living. So we live in this world, this ministry music world. Bro, like, the average person is moving around from job to job every couple of years.
Right.
And they going through the same thing.
The process, yep.
And there's no blueprint.
Yep.
So that's good. What you just said was money, man.
Amen.
It was money. All right, so we're a little removed from this season. Mm-hmm. But I always felt like there was a period of time where, particularly I think 116, Canton Jones, they just felt like tension, bro. Mm-hmm. And not tension on some I don't know, you could express it better. I think there was differences in philosophies.
Right.
You know what I mean? I know a lot of that is nowhere near what it was. Like, people cool. People in the same spaces. I mean, 1K Few was on Reach Records. You know what I mean?
Right.
But, man, talk about that season for you and just, like, how things felt when certain things happened back then, bro.
A lot of it didn't get to me. A lot of it, I ain't know what was happening.
Yeah.
I heard stuff from time to time, but the way we roll, like, I ain't know how to fight with no scriptures.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that wasn't one of my options.
Yeah.
So, like, we didn't know. Like I found out later on that there was some tension and beef as far as philosophies, and most of it wasn't because of me. It was really because of Pastor. Yeah. Like, they didn't agree with what Pastor was saying. Right. As far as prosperity and all that, I saw it as, I actually saw it as black and white.
Yeah. Wow.
I just saw it as black and white, and I just saw, man, there's just a tension. It's almost like Democrats and Republicans.
Yeah.
I just saw it as that. Yeah. But there was no beef. When me and Lecrae talked, there was no beef.
Yeah.
Lecrae called me about 1K Few. 1K Few was at Free Life.
Yeah.
They're like, bro, who is this kid? How you feel about him? But I'm like, he's solid. You need to get him. He needs your structure. He needs what y'all have. All right. And it was like, all right, say less. And I was like, and I talked to 1K Few, and that's how that. Yeah. So that match wouldn't have been made if there was some type of beef.
If there was beef,
you see what I'm saying?
That's good.
Or I would have tried to tear it down. And so I was always the one for the cause, trying to keep the movement together. I'm like, it's only a couple of us anyway, bro.
Right.
Like, let's stop trying to split this up. And so at the roots of it, to me, that's why there's a gospel hip hop and a CHH. They're pulling away from each other based off philosophies, based off of Democrats and Republicans, the basic beliefs of, and if you just understood what I needed at the time, he preached about prosperity, bro, but I'm broke, so he got to figure, like that might be cool for y'all, but y'all got money, you know what I'm saying? So like, you mad at me because I'm learning about how to get money, you know what I'm saying? I'm not worried about your philosophy. I'm just trying to feed my family, bro. You know what I'm saying? So they never. You see how aggressive I am? Yeah. Nobody really came up to me because that answer would be something graphic. Because I wasn't mature enough to. Well, brother, if you understand the scriptures, look at Ephesians. Like, I just didn't have that. I didn't have, and then the people around me didn't have that. We were just trying to do the best that we could to serve God. And like, man, you telling me, man, the one time I got God that I'm wrong? Right. Like, like ain't nobody say nothing when I was doing this and had this girl and doing all this, but the one time I try to submit to God, now y'all telling me I'm submitting to God wrong? So we just, and I knew that I wasn't mature enough to have those conversations, so I stayed out of them. I just tried to avoid them because I didn't want to bring shame to the kingdom. Right. And I knew the people would I was like, man, if I took you in a meeting and they talk about scripture, but you feel like it's disrespectful, we're gonna be fighting. Like, that's something different. And I was like, man, like we came out of that. Like, you telling me I come to gospel to fight? Man, one of the dopest things that just happened is there was a beef between two rappers, known rappers, and then one dropped a little song about the other one, and then he came back and apologized. Oh, you talking about J. Cole and Kendrick? Yes. Yeah. I just thought that for black men, that was a phenomenal powerful moment. And there are people that hate that because they wanted to see. Man, this feels like Biggie and Tupac. I'm like, Biggie and Tupac both dead. They dead, bro. At 26 and 27. Right. Or 25 and 26. Right. I'm like, bro, I don't want to feel that. Never got to reach their potential. Man, and they still the greatest, and they were that young. So I'm like, man, why would y'all want to see that? And so I love the fact that he apologized to Kendrick for that. I just think that that's so honorable, and I think that does. Bro, he said we taking the song off of streaming services. Bro, I just think that does so much. For the movement as a whole, because no matter if we see HH, GHH, whatever HH, we still HH. Right. And we still HH. So it's still, if you African American black, Jamaican black, you still black. You still African. You see what I'm saying? We still are together in this. Yeah. And so I just felt like that was a big moment. And so I am not trying to split up the HH. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And when they do, I'm good at just acting like I ain't hear something. Now, deep in some of the music, of course, I've addressed everything. Yeah. You just got to know what I'm talking about. I've addressed everything in the music. I ain't going to do it in the interview. Yeah. I'm with you. But you got to dig. I ain't going to tell you where it is. But I have said something on some song somewhere answering everybody about everything, because that's where I vent. Yeah. That's where I vent.
Yeah.
Now some songs, my wife said, no, you can't release that. Yeah. So
it's one reason why I ask you, man, because I'll be honest. I grew up in the Baptist church, and I didn't even really know about these different theologies and all of this stuff until I got into Christian rap, right? And I was just like, this is just weird to me, right? And then the other side for me, and I've shared this story with you privately. I don't know if I've ever shared it publicly, but like, people say things like all around, right? And man, one of the most powerful things that someone told me about you, I'm not gonna say the artist's name, they may not want me to put their business out there, but somebody told me, they was just like, yo, man, I was struggling to pay my rent at one point, and I called Canton, and not called him to ask him to pay the rent, but I was just like, man, this is the situation I'm in, what should I do? He said, I'm gonna tell you what you should do. Give me your bank information.
Yep.
And there's multiple people like that. And I'm just saying, and here's the other thing. I've heard the same thing about Lecrae, right? So when I see that, I'm just like, bro, sometimes just because we doing things a different way or we have a different mindset for it, it's like you got to look at the fruit from people's lives.
Right.
Like you got to look at the fruit from people's lives, man. And so,
And you don't want to publicize stuff, man. You don't want that brother to be hurt. You don't want that. You want him to recover.
Right.
One of the brothers ended up being a lifeline of wisdom in my transition with Free Life. Oh man, I needed to hear that. I didn't want to hear that.
Yeah.
But I need to hear that, and I know. Because of our relationship, that you love me, you know, and it was friction there before. It was friction on the belief attacking, about what Pastor was saying, and we had to talk through it. We talked through it, and through those situations, I was able to be a blessing. But then he was able to be a blessing to me. And so when you really thinking about the team. What I hated about Michael Jordan's the beginning of his career is he was a phenomenal player on a team that sucked. He was a great loser.
People don't want to talk about that, though.
He was a great.
They just want to remember 6 rings and on.
He was right,
but before that,
but he was getting spanked. He
Larry
couldn't get
Bird,
past
Isaiah
Bird,
Thomas.
Right. He hit 63. He was phenomenal, but they lost, and I hated being on a team that everybody was like, man, that sucks. Well, you do gospel rap, that sucks. All right, give me the mic. We finna see what sucks. You do your secular, let me do mine, and let's go. We're gonna go for it. Bruh, I could bleep out my Jesus in the middle of the song, and you'll still know who I'm talking about, and I still rock your stage. Yeah. Because of the confidence of just being a dog. I do this. I gave my heart to God, but we do this for real in every aspect. So I wanted to be like, man, let me start helping him. Let me help Pippen. Let me help Rodman. Let me help, because we're not gonna win nothing if I'm the only one that's good. Like that sucks. Like, I don't want to be on a program of 10 people and I'm the headliner and I'm always the best. No, bro. I want to be somewhere where you could put me at number 2 and number 1 just rock, number 3 just rock, all the way to 10. I don't even have to headline no more. Like I put my son behind me because he gonna kill it. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, man, what's up with the whole game? And that's what has been my concern and my drive. And a lot of people have been like, man, you need to just worry about you. You could be here, you could be here. And I was like, man, that's just not my heart. And it's because I come from a group setting, singing with other brothers. So being alone or being the only, that's just not my swag. I mean, it is my swag when I get on stage, but really it's about the group. Let's get together and laugh. I'm not the artist that sit over in the corner, and be this arrogant dude. That's a soloist. That's solo swag. I'm a group swag. So I'm coming back trying to get in with the joke, laugh with the strangers. That's just who I am. And so And so with that, I tried to bring that to Christian hip hop, to gospel hip hop.
Bro, I never put all that together, and hearing you say that you always want, it makes, bro, I've never seen you rolling anywhere by yourself. Yeah. This is the first time in my life that I've been in the same place with you and you just showed up by yourself.
Yeah.
And it was just for this interview.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying.
Because it's just because you just called me. But usually.
And how many shows we done did over the year? We can't even count, bro. We can't even count.
Yeah. And it's usually just the camaraderie of brothers.
Yeah.
So sometimes sharing the experience. I usually, I used to bring Few, Antonio, and all of them so that they could get the experience, so they can learn, so they can take it and know how to do certain things. And it was a teaching moment sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes some brother going through something, man, ride with me while I'm doing this and we could talk. Yeah. So it was always about making sure the team was straight. In this season, God is like your family.
Yeah, it's good.
Your kids, your wife, your boys.
You're getting the next generation ready.
So I have to get my family. I have to put that same attention to detail to my family. One of the reasons why Free Life has to go in this direction, and I have to do this right now while Free Life is still growing. In that, I'm still planting Free Life all over, but the local part, I have to go this way now. And so learning the transitions of life because you finished and you didn't fail.
That's good. That's good. Let's talk about Free Life for me. Okay, no, hold on. Before we get to Free Life, I gotta, because I've never asked you about this, bro. How did you get connected with Matt Pitt in the basement, bro? Because that was like,
crazy.
That was like
crazy. It changed everything. It changed my life. We were DJ Strick. Shout out to Strick City, and a pastor named Pastor Green. They was doing something in Birmingham for the city. Yeah. And they had this big program where they brought people from the city down, different churches and worshipers. And the basement had it was in existence for a couple of years, but it had just popped off in a major way at that time. And I had just performed, and he was last, and came off the stage, and he says to me, and Matt, "Hey man, I want you to come back on stage with me." And I was like, what do you do, rap? It's like, nah, I'm a preacher. And I was like, what you want me to do? Because I didn't understand it. Bro, when he got on the stage and them kids went, rock star. And so that day, they invited me to the basement. I went probably like a month later, and I was blown away. I was blown away for a couple of reasons. One,
give people perspective. How many people was at this?
But when I caught on, it was 7,500 people. When I caught on, 7,500 people, and they was doing it every Tuesday, and I was just coming up once a month, and so it was MTV Church. Yeah. So everything was relevant. He was ADHD. So he was, ADHD is pretty much people who scrolling. You got, when I'm scrolling down, if you don't catch me in 10, 15 seconds,
we keeping it moving.
And he was that technology back then. Wow. So all of his stuff.
Because this is what 08,
09.
Yeah.
And so Kingdom Business that just dropped. Yeah. So how he thought about things, production, he's thinking for a generation of kids that needed fast, needed exciting, needed loud, and he preached that way. He did everything, with skits but it was so anointing. I'm looking for the anointing. Like, this is annoying.
That's that Kojic.
Oh yeah, bro. It's
where the oil at? Where the oil?
That's what I'm looking. I'm listening to feel the power of God, so I know if I'm wasting my time or not. Because you can have all the production and no power.
Right.
So I'm listening, and man, it was so anointed, bro. Yeah. And how he did certain things, and how God had him to process certain things, and so that changed my life, helped me with my philosophy with Free Life. And really what we're getting ready to do going forward. Yeah.
How did you get the vision for Free Life, bro? Like where did that
So
like, where did that come from?
when I left World Changers, I became a youth pastor.
I remember that.
And
I remember that.
And I asked these people, I was like, y'all know I do music, right? Have y'all Googled me? And they was like, no, God is telling us that you are our youth pastor. And I'm at a well-known church in Fayetteville, Georgia. At one time, Dan Cathy, president of Chick-fil-A, was one of their youth workers.
Wow.
He played trumpet in the band. Like,
wow.
You're watching that. I'm sitting there on Sunday morning watching a billionaire trumpeter.
That's crazy.
Like, y'all realize that this band got 1 million stores, and he just like right here, no security, just regular. I'm serious, bro. I'm like, wow. So pastoring, and then I was pastoring a predominantly white church.
Right.
And so now they don't know hip hop. They don't, they play on boxes and they do the guitars and worship. So I had to learn how to really break the word down and trust the anointing of the word, because I couldn't lean to my music.
Yeah.
And I really, really went through a process. So 2 years pastoring there, I thank God for them. Still great people. I love them. And then I hear God say, if you don't start Free Life, you're going to lose your boys. And I'm like, lose my boys, like my homeboys? I was like, no, your boys. So I had 2 boys at the time, Dominion and Canaan. And he said, Love Jones is going to be all right, my daughter. He said, but you're going to lose your boys. I was like, what does that mean? So I started Free Life out of panic. Like, what do you mean I'm going to lose my boys?
Culturally.
And I understood, like, that the church is not going to be able to hold the and when you go to most churches, 13 to 30 real dudes, masculine men are not there. They're not. If you subscribe to the hip hop culture, they're not at a church.
It doesn't connect.
It doesn't connect. And even though the church is surrounded by the hip hop culture, like, Pastor, when you walk out of that door, you're gonna walk snap dab into the hip hop culture. There's gonna be some boom cars riding by everybody's gonna be dressed hip hop. And you know what, Pastor? After you come out of that suit, you're gonna be dressed hip hop too. And so, but he said that there is no church culture. He was pretty much telling me there's no church culture for hip hop. And I want to be the God of hip hop. I want not only the music. See, we do the music, but it's only recently that we can go to a church that does the music, like, or
very recent.
Because so most of the times,
and every city ain't got it yet.
So we have to leave our culture to get God. So you gotta leave the I gotta leave, or I gotta dumb down everything that I am to go get God. So it almost seems as if my culture is demonized. Not the music that I'm picking, just who I am. It's demonized. God don't like your face, the fact that your hair is like that.
You got a hat on.
It's just, he don't like your
sneakers.
Swag. And he don't like it only on Sunday between the times of 9:30 and 12, because after that, the pastor is dressed like me.
Right.
And so it's very confusing. So God's like, I want to be the God of this culture. And so I did it. And he says, I want you to focus on the ages 13 to 30. Like, really predominantly men, but and now you can evangelize everybody, or you can reach everybody, but 13 to 30 is your focus. And he gave me the football analogy. He said, when you look at football, most of those guys coming out of college, they're 20, 22, to like 30 is the peak time. Then you really OG, you 31, 32, whatever, you playing football. But those are the guys on the field. Then you got the older guys that's on the sideline as the coaches. Then you got cheerleaders, the ladies are there, and you got people in the skybox all the way 0 to 100. So it can impact everybody, but the field is only these men. And he was telling me that the stage is the field. And concentrate. You can bring women on the stage, but these are the ones that we're losing. Concentrate on creating God culture for these men. And I know you was at the Hall of Fame the other day. Tonio hosted. Tonio was.
Oh, bro, I remember when you first got him.
Oh,
I told him that.
And,
I had never met him in person.
Really?
That was the first time I met him in person.
Bro.
I told him. I said, bro, because he said on the stage, he said, man, it's like I was smelling like. I said, bro, I could smell your weed through the music.
And I used to make them pray high.
Yeah.
I was like, I know you high, bro, but you got to pray now.
Yeah.
The church is starting.
Yeah.
And I gave him no excuse.
Yeah.
And Antonio brought me few, 1K few. Antonio brought me.
Yeah,
So
Few just said that.
All of them were, and I did it for them. And so, but really, I was doing it for my son.
Right. That's real. That's good.
And so, when my son turned 13, he's 15 now. 13, that's when God was saying, okay, it's time to transition. Because now your focus has to be this family, and what I'm trying to show America through this family. The family is under attack. I need a family to go out and represent family. I need you to move like a family, not an evangelist pastor that's solo and and your wife. No, I need you to move as a group. So if you kind of look at you'll see how we move. I'm trying to move like a unit, a family, so that I can show the hip hop culture that man, you can find all your love in one woman. All right, I'm 23 years married this year. That you can be a parent to your child in the same house. That it ain't got to be no baby mama drama. Like all the curses of what they think when they look at me. Yeah. I'm like, nah, God. So it's one thing to hear it on Sunday. It's another thing to see how somebody moving. And so I'm about to mix my wife's record down, and her record is amazing, but she does soul, jazz, put the same energy I put in mine and hers. We push that.
This is her first solo project, right?
She's done some, but she has.
I know she has a lot of music.
She quietly don't want to promote it, but we gonna push this one.
I got you.
Because now we moving together.
Yeah.
And most of the time she worked as a wifager, wife manager, and she's used to booking for me, and put me out there and all that type of stuff. I'm like, nah, we got to do that same thing for you, and so in this season, kind of switching stuff up to make sure that she gets the opportunity to share her gift with the world, because that's the gift. I was like, the scripture that say you say the fine wine for last. Yeah, that's the fine wine, boy.
So. Friday night, I didn't know this until you started saying all this on the stage.
Yeah.
Right. Talk about this transition you're making from free life, because it has felt like it's been a difficult thing for you to let go.
The hardest.
Talk about that, bro. Because I honestly, dude, I did not know you would transition it until you told the full story.
Yeah,
and I almost feel like you probably hadn't planned on doing that until
I wasn't gonna do that show. I wasn't gonna.
I heard that
because I was like,
I remember that
because I'm on the other side of that. Like, I've already turned in the keys. I don't really supposed to be in here no more. So, but I was like, I'm gonna honor my word. God gave me the peace to do it.
Yeah.
So it's been. So God came to me, Easter. I'm sitting there. And
this past Easter,
2022.
22, okay.
And say that in 1 year.
Just 2 Easters ago.
In 1 year, you got to get this church up.
Yeah.
Easter 2023. So I am like, what did I do wrong? Not knowing that I finished, thought that I had made a mistake.
Yeah, thought you failed, but you had finished.
But I finished. Boy.
That's a word, bro. That's a word, bro.
That's a word, bro. I thought I failed, but I finished. But that's a word, bro. Because sometimes it feels the same.
Yeah.
When you transition.
Yeah.
It feels the same.
Yeah.
So 2023 came, and the week before Easter, I knew my deadline was there, and I had accepted a gig in Houston.
Yeah.
And so I gave the church up the week before Easter, the hardest thing. We crying, consecrated my man, and the next week was Easter 2023.
Yeah.
The church is full for the first time. My wife sending me pictures. There's people everywhere. They got to bring chairs. I was like, the church was never full when I was there.
Wow.
You know, so you just feeling it. You just feeling like, all right.
Yeah.
So I was like, so you was waiting on me to get out of there, you know? So all right. So but not only that, the assignment was give the church and the equipment.
Yeah.
I gave it.
And you got some equipment in there. Yeah, you got sound system in there.
Everything in there.
Yeah.
Everything.
Did you have a studio in there too?
Everything was in there. And so he says, give everything. Like my right in front of the where that DJ set up, my DJ board, I got a gold DJ. Everything. He said, leave everything. So I hung everything. I put up all the lights. Everything. So we did our podcast. Anyway, so 23 comes, church is full. So he says, but I didn't give the building up. I gave the church up, but I didn't give the building up. So the next day.
So what happened?
I gave because I got confused about a couple things.
Okay.
And I didn't want the pressure to be on my guy.
Yeah.
So I called myself being God, trying to help him.
Yeah.
No. So he told me to walk with him. So we've been helping him with all of finances. So I've been walking with him all the way up until right now. Like now we're out this month.
Yeah.
The first of this month was it. Like right now, literally. Wow. So it's like we've been walking with you all the way, and then but I never gave up the building throughout that year. That's why my computer was stolen. My computer was stolen because it's like you didn't do the whole thing. And I didn't realize I didn't do the whole thing until I talked to my brother Scott Free, who you gonna have. And I had a conversation with him, and God showed me you didn't finish. You didn't finish. So
that's why it felt like a failure.
I felt like a failure.
Come on.
So when you saw me perform, and I was like, this is the last time I'm gonna be in this building. God knew that. Sunday you could have the people because they kind of free life. They rough. But the equipment, I've been around equipment since I was 16, bro. Right. I used to just watch the lights and buttons and. I'm a techie. I know what I bought that from. And
not to mention, you did all the hard work of hanging it,
setting it up. I know what. If a light ain't on, I'll be like, go over there and hit that. I know all of that. And it's over. The light, the breaker went out. Man, y'all got too many plugs in this. You got to spread the power out. I know all of that. And just to perform that last time. And say, I obeyed God. I obeyed God. I obeyed God. And the last song of that set was a song called I Can't Help It. And I Can't Help It is the beginning of the free life movement. It is when Justice got here. That song is about the miscarriage that we had between Justice and Canton. And Justice is the name. That's why his name is Justice. God brought us justice. And so that record is on 2 albums. It's on Canaan's record, which is called God City, and it's on Justice. It's spread because it represents the time between. And so when I did it, it's also the start of the movement. And when I first met Tonio, or got back with Tonio, so that one was like free life. It just was like, man, that's it. Like that's it. It's almost like graduation day where you got that, man, I might not see y'all again, but it's a great day. But it's really sad that bro, we done. We come up for the last. Some of y'all was in my elementary school, middle school, high school, and now that's it. So we gonna hug, take some pictures. But man, that might be it. I might not see some of y'all. And some of my high schoolers, when I came to Atlanta, so I sure enough didn't see a lot of them. And understanding that was that moment for me. Like, this is graduation, but man, it feels bittersweet. But I finished.
So this free life movement, you're looking to plant other free life churches around the country now.
Yes,
that's the vision.
The vision really is to plant the culture. So I come from Church of God in Christ.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
If you go to most churches, there's I call it a black hole, and when you look for this at your church between the ages of 13 to 30, we're not there. You know, you got some teenagers that's sitting in the back. Even if they're there around 13, they start tapping out. You know, you got the kids, and you know they'll be in, but once they get a little older and the culture start coming out, they start getting in the back. They start getting in trouble. Then eventually they stop coming to church. And it's until you got shot at, or you don't get in a car accident, or something happened, or a girl brings you that you come back. All right.
Or you get to 40 and you got a whole family. Right. And you like, man, let me get my kids
right. Yeah. You know, but it's not for the sake of the culture. It's not some way that you just want to go hang out. Yeah. It's not. Now, I showed my wife, battle rap, where cats are just battling. I was like, look, babe, they don't have any music.
Right.
They just going lyric for lyric. And look at all the men.
It's nothing but.
That's in the audience.
Yeah. Yep.
Because of the culture.
The culture. Yep.
And I was like, if we just did this for God, be genuine to the culture. Don't be nothing corny. We don't have to duplicate nothing. We don't have to copy nothing. We got God. We can create something. But if we did it intentionally for the culture, then they'll come.
It's good.
You know, so most churches, you have to leave your culture. We have to either go back in time to something that mama did, granddaddy did, or we got to go to the CCM side, or we got to go something that's super not us. Because it's like, when you do this, you ain't God. And I'm like, nah, man. Right. So he had me to do Free Life for that. So now the assignment is to show the culture to all, not just do Free Life. Some people are gonna want to do Free Lives by themselves, but it's not. No, it's to take it to the Kojic movement. It's to take it to the Full Gospel movement. It's to take the culture. This because this is missing in all the cultures, and we all black. It's like the one that act like me, aggressive. Okay, you got some dudes that's not this, of course, but y'all got stuff for them. But when it comes to us, you ain't got nothing for me. And then you want to wonder why we don't come to church. I told somebody, I say, man, if I'm hungry, if I'm starving, I'm still not gonna eat macaroni and cheese, bro. I can't stand it, bro. I can't stand the smell.
No mac for you, bro?
No, bro. Wow. Ever since I was a kid, can't do it. Yeah. And I could be hungry.
I can see Kraft, but not the baked mac. No baked mac, bro.
Nah, bro. Can't do it. With the bread, that junk will make me throw up, bro. Yeah. All my life, it's been weird. You know, I do cheese on burgers and stuff, but I just don't do mac and cheese. I can't do it. Wow. So look, all my life. So if I'm hungry. I want to eat, but I don't want to eat what you serving.
You ain't messing that mac. You ain't messing with it.
So there are people that's hungry for God.
Right.
But I can't dig with that though, Pastor.
Yeah.
Like I want God, and we've in our culture, in our church background, say, well, if you don't come to church, you don't love God. That's not true. I love God. I just don't like what y'all serving. The service is too long. The songs I don't know, and they don't got no swag in them. And and y'all put up, and then my hip hop. If you're not excellent at your lyrical thing, or at something, it's whack to us. So we demand that same thing from the culture of God. And so my job is to just present my family and the culture of Free Life to people, to different churches, to let them know. And when we have conversations, I'll be able to show them this is the disconnect. Because, like, Pastor, your son is like me, because you raised them in this neighborhood. And it's weird to him that when he comes in here, that this feels like a foreign country. Because only in here is his culture not embraced. Only in this small room, because when he go outside, the hood waiting on him. Yeah. And so how do we bring the culture in? I was telling people, man, if you sing Every Praise, which I love that song. Yeah. I love all music. But if you put a rap in between it, you've satisfied the culture. Yeah. Yep. If you sing any song, this is the day, right, and put a trap beat with it, you satisfied the culture. Yep. We don't want the whole service. Y'all think that you think that this is mutually exclusive, that when we come, you got to leave. That's not what we're saying. We're family. So include me. That's all I've been saying. Include me, mama. Like, I like what you do, but you hate what I do. Include me. You want me to eat what I don't eat. Yeah, it's good. So that's what my job is, to present, like, to this family, because in the African American culture, you got jazz. Mm-hmm. And we shut out the church. Oh yeah. We got you got R&B. You got all of these musical expressions that we shut out, and we've only given God this one sound. You crazy. God is a creator. Who else created those sounds? Who else gave those people those inspirations to play those chords and do? God did. So why do we give all of that to everybody else? And then the people that's singing in the choir, hey, no shade to nobody, but okay, he's effeminate. Like, I'm not effeminate. I'm not tripping on him. Right. But why you tripping on me? Right. If you telling me don't judge him, then why you judging me? Right. Like, if we brothers, okay, he might be super soft and I might be overly hard. Just can we coexist? If you're trying to get him right, why you ain't trying to get me right? That's what I'm saying about the culture. If we family, everybody done went through something. Some of them guys been abused, man, been messed up. I understand that. But so have we. Yeah. So if we're all trying to get to God, and this is a buffet, you feeding him what he can eat, and you won't feed me. And that's what I'm saying for the culture. For the culture. Because my son is in the culture. That's good. He every bit of the culture. All that's three good. Of them. They got this, and they pants be sagging. I was like, boy, if your pants gonna sag that low, better make sure your drawers clean, boy. God, no. You know what I'm saying? But I was sagging like that too. The culture got him. We didn't go to a hip hop learning class and teach you how to sag and all that. It's in the culture. In the culture. So okay, if it's in the culture, and everybody, man, you know where that came from? It came from jail. I'm like, whatever. Whatever.
But it's in the culture now.
It's in the culture, whatever. Yeah. You know what hat backwards mean? You know what back with it, man, whatever. It's in the culture, bro. Right. Well, you know what long hat, man, whatever. Like, I understand all of that or whatever you saying, but I'm still gonna wear my mind like this. Yeah. That information ain't changing what I'm doing, because I'm not in that. All right. So with that, my job is to present a man with his family. Yeah, that's a part of this culture. Yeah, that's not compromising with this culture. I love black people. I love white people. I got friends that's gay. You know, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I understand. They understand. Like, you already know. I ain't never been tried by nobody that's gay. You know what I'm saying? Because they already know with the aggression what might come. You know what I'm saying? But if that's you and God. You work that out with God. Right. But my whole thing is, if I ain't judging you, don't judge me. Right. You know? And so at that, can we worship together? Bro, in y'all song, can y'all put a little hip hop in there? Bro, can while y'all taking the offering, have one of the homies to help with the offering. Once we start seeing the culture just a part of church, that's revival. That's good. Because they're gonna come. If they feel like y'all, then they'll pull Deke to the side. Deke, man, I got an issue, man. I need you to talk to me. That's when them walls will be broken. But when y'all come in here with your pants hanging down and your hat backwards, and man, don't nobody want to hear that. So ain't nobody, that right there, the outfit is the outfit has sent more people to hell than anything. Right. It's the first dilemma in the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? The way you sewing aprons, you know, and it's still about the image, what the outfit is. And so most people don't want to come because you're gonna judge me based on what I look like. You haven't even had a conversation with who I am, you know. And when you look at, if I'm sitting looking, I probably look like a dog, like a lion, like I do. But then when you meet me, you like, oh, we look like he goofy, because I'm goofy, you know. And so that you got to give people a chance. And so in this season, instead of being at Free Life, I am Free Life.
That's good.
And my job is to show, not plant different Free Life churches, but to show the culture and and free the culture and put it in all the churches. You say, man, when I go to Full Gospel next time, you're gonna see, you know, with the choir, somebody gonna come up there and rap. Yeah. And just satisfy that's all we want. On the Stellar Awards, you know, not a separate rap thing, which we appreciate that, but it does look separate. It looks like we're doing this for them because they're not like us, but we're showing them that we're reaching out. No, put me with and mix it and let us do a song together, mix it up, boom, and that's revival. Because then the homies, and once the homies start coming to church, once hip hop hit church mainstream, it's over.
It's over.
We make it so God is calling me out of Free Life because and Free Life is still there, but he's calling me to spread the culture because he doesn't want different Free Life pockets to be separate. He wants the culture of Free Life to be included in the culture that exists. You see what I'm saying? And so no different than you'll be intentional about, if you have a couple white people that's in your church and you're a predominantly black church or vice versa, then you're intentional about including those groups of people. You letting them present, you put videos up, you're intentional about it. The same thing with the hip hop culture. It's just like, man, be intentional about including them. You know, let them speak sometimes. I was at I love how even Pastor Dollar, he allowed one of them to speak on the video announcements. You know, that, man, it might be too much to have y'all rap doing it, but we'll let you present here to just touch this part of it. You know how you're on a computer and you let the mouse sit for a long time, and then the screensaver comes up. So you got to keep touching it. You got to keep touching it to make sure the screensaver don't come up. You keep touching, and that's all it is. If you keep touching the culture, just give me a touch. You ain't even gotta. Just if you give me a little touch, the culture will come to your church.
I love it.
Yep.
I love it, man. Canton, I love you, bro.
Yeah, love you too, man.
More than you know, brother.
Yeah.
Seriously, man. Every time we do these, man, I leave like, man, I gotta change my whole life now.
No, man. Hey, you can't give me some of these shoes that's sitting around, bro. You got these 10.5s. I mean, I don't see nothing but brand new J's.
Hey, man.
Let's go.
I mean, it's for the culture, right?
I love it, buddy.
It's for the culture, man.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Hey, man, Canton, man. Seriously, congratulations again. I just need to say this again publicly, bro. The way you got your flowers this weekend, they gave a lot of people flowers. Yeah. I was one of them.
Yeah.
But I think we all can say at the Gospel Hip Hop Christian Hip Hop Awards Hall of Fame induction this weekend, it was different when you went up there, bro. And I think it's because of the impact that you've had, not just on this city, but on the culture. And so hearing what it is you're about to do next, it makes sense.
Yep, praise God.
It makes sense, bro. It makes sense, and I'm thankful for you, bro. For real.
Man, I'm fresh into realizing that I finished and didn't fail.
Come on, man.
So I got a new. And when I say I'm fresh, like I'm a week, because most of the time I'm thinking, man, I must have missed something.
Yeah.
I've been a year into examining my life and it's like, oh, I just finished.
Maybe that's a book or something, bro.
Bro, that's
a book, some merch. That's something, bro. That got to be on something. I finished, but I didn't fail. That's good, man.
That's good.
Hey, y'all, we are finished, but we didn't fail.
Hey! The Wado Show, baby. K-Joe. Yeah.
Hey, family, thank you so much for tuning in. Please make sure you hit the subscribe button. like this video and leave us a comment. Would love to hear your thoughts on what we were just discussing. Also, if you want to book me for your next event, whether you got a concert, a party, a youth function, a corporate event, whatever it is, send us an email. It's booking@wadeorradio.com. I'd love to DJ your next event.